Arsenal win in our first game back in the UEFA Champions League, beating PSV 4-0 at home and completely dominating the Dutch side. So happy with the result and the performance. We couldn't have asked to start our Champions League campaign in a better scenario. We did so well to make sure that we dominate the game, and we killed off the game early so that we could focus on Spurs coming up on Sunday. Awesome performance from the team. Now, going into the starting 11, Arteta just keeps throwing curveballs, doesn't he? Like, you think he's going to line up a certain way and we do a completely different. First of all, I did not expect to see Raya start again. Yes, Raya did well against Everton, and while he didn't really get tested, but he did what he needed to do against Everton. But I still didn't expect to see him start against PSV. I thought the reason that Raya started against Everton was that so Ramsdale could start in the Champions League, but obviously I was wrong. I suppose it made sense considering that we expected to be in complete control of the possession, and obviously that's one of Raya's best attributes is having the ball at his feet. But I will say one thing, I'm going to be very worried for Ramsdale if he doesn't start against Spurs on Sunday. If Raya starts against Spurs, then I'll be convinced that he is our number one and Ramsdale will be our cup keeper. And I know Arteta says that there's no number one, everyone can fight, but let's be honest, I think there might be a facade, it might just be something he's hiding, and he might just want Raya to be his number one keeper, and he's just trying to make it seem like it's up for grabs, and it's really not. And then we feel that the normal backline that's been very good for us, it's the backline I trust, the backline I love seeing. I must be honest, I was very surprised as well to see Havertz start, especially after the game that Vieira had against Everton. But you would maybe think that Havertz started is potentially to give Vieira some rest ahead of Spurs. Again, Arteta's never managed Champions League games and then league games, so I don't know how he wants to rest and how he wants to play that, but I imagine that Havertz starting is purely for rest purposes for Vieira. After that, we played our normal midfield, obviously with Declan Rice and Martin Odegaard, and the normal front three that we had expected considering Martinelli was injured. Seeing the Emirates packed out with Champions League branding, hearing that anthem, it felt so good. I was so gassed. But anyway, let's just get back into the game. So we started off really well, looking assured of ourselves, controlling the game, and the one I would have chosen to score our first Champions League game back and our first Champions League goal back, I would have chosen Bukayo Saka, and guess who it was? Starboy Bukayo Saka. Nice alertness to put away the rebound from Martin Odegaard's shot. It was a decent shot from Odegaard, to be fair. And, a goal up inside 10 minutes on our Champions League return felt so good. And then we had that Zinchenko possible handball. That, I think it's a 50-50, if I'm being honest with you. I see some Arsenal fans saying it's not in any chance a handball. I think it's a 50-50. It's a very difficult one to call, but I understand why VAR didn't overturn it. I think it's the type of handball that if the ref gave it a penalty, VAR wouldn't overturn it and it would be a penalty. But if the ref never gave it a penalty, VAR wouldn't overturn it and it wouldn't be a penalty. I think it's that close of a one that they let the on-field ref make the call. And obviously the call was in favour of Arsenal, thankfully. After that though, Jesus did an outstanding job to win a 50-50 ball and break away to feed Saka, who then set up Leandro Trossard, who had an amazing finish from the bottom corner, giving the keeper no chance at all. 2-0 up in 20 minutes. Leandro Trossard, 2 goals in 2 games. We were flying. And after that second goal, the game pretty much cooled down for the most part. PSV started showing some signs of life and testing Raya here and there. Noah Lang, who I've been hyping up for a long time, really did some good dribbling runs, good chances created. I thought Noah Lang was probably their best player for the first half. And then Jesus chested down Raya's long pass beautifully, might I add. It was a beautiful chest down, beautiful touch. So good. We saw some really good team football, and that then followed with Trossard setting up Jesus, who again had another beautiful first touch and killed the ball absolutely flat and absolutely buried his shot in the side netting to send us 3-0 up to end the first half. couldn't have ended the first half much better, to be honest with you. 3-0 up at home in the Champions League. All of our front three scoring, and we looked so dominant as well. The second half started off quite tame, as you would expect. Arsenal just wanted to control the game nicely, don't make any mistakes. And after the hour mark, we took off both Zinchenko and Trossard for Nelson and Tomiyasu. You'd expect that to be with us just keeping our minds on the North London derby on Sunday, so I don't have any problems with that. And 5 or so minutes later, more subs were to follow, with Jesus and Saka coming off, and Vieira, and finally, Emil Smith-Rowe getting some game time, coming off the bench as well with Vieira. Havertz then gets him behind with a beautiful pass from Ben White, might add. Beautiful ball from Ben White. Havertz gets him behind, and I don't know what Havertz was doing. But instead of running straight to the goal and just trying to get a shot off, he gives the defenders a chance. He tries to run back or run inside to the pitch. I don't know. I would love to know what he was doing. I'd love to ask him that, but maybe his lack of confidence, because maybe if he's fully confident, he just runs the goal and lashes the ball in. But yeah, it was quite disappointing to see how Havertz handled the ball in behind. But anyway, he ran him in behind and gave the ball to ESR instead of trying to run himself. He gave it to Smith-Rowe. As Smith-Rowe and Nelson then did very well to keep the play alive, and Nelson then finds Odegaard, who smashes it into the bottom corner to make it 4-0 for the good guys. And with 15 minutes to go, Declan Rice was replaced by Jorginho to help us see the game out. And that's exactly what we did. We closed the game out, winning 4-0 and absolutely dominating a good Dutch team in PSV. PSV is a good team. They're first right now in the Eredivisie. I'm so happy with the result that we got against this team. And we couldn't have asked for a better start to our first campaign back on the big time. I'm so gassed. But with all that being said, I would love to know how much you guys enjoyed the performance and what you guys made of the game in the comments below. And I'll see you guys in the next one.